If you follow this channel, you know that I posted something probably over a year ago about these new Airsoft tracer units. And I've had those for a while, where you use glow-in-the-dark BBs and a little light charges them on their way out. It's in a fake suppressor. But they recently introduced some, about a year ago, the Spitfire, I think is the first name they came out under, that have a little flash effect to simulate muzzle flash. Now, obviously, for props use, that's a cool option to have. But the problem is they're triggered by something passing through the middle. So how are we going to do this? All right, so big props to Scott Prop and Roll for this. I've been trying to figure out how to make these fake suppressors that do the muzzle flash work without actually sending out a projectile, since they work off of a motion detector for something going through the middle. And his hack was just a little bit of electrical tape folded over in half, so that it'll just wiggle when the gas goes through. So this only works if you actually have like a gas gun, but that's enough. Of course, it also means that if you wave it around too much or do other actions, it's going to flash even when it shouldn't. So, you know, you got to be able to turn it off for most of your shots. But if you want some of those shots, and this is a cheap, oversized one, actually originally designed for Nerf. I have some, at least one of the smaller ones made for Airsoft. But, you know, I just put a little bit of tape down there in the opening. And so now, if I blow through it, it wiggles and it flashes. This particular one, you can change the color if you really want to make it into a laser gun or something. Or if you're doing some kind of weird color correction afterwards. But, seems to work. I guess it really was that easy. Who'd have thunk? Now, and if you can combine this with a little bit of actual like smoke from maybe a temperature changing CO2 or something like that, you can actually get a decent effect. And I have seen now there are some new suppressors out, I think we call it like the Smoke Wolf or something like that, that actually do the same kind of thing that the smoke machine does, but in tiny doses, initiated in the same way, triggered in the same way through a projectile. So little puff of smoke and that flash can look really good. I haven't seen those readily available here yet, but that might be the next thing coming down the pipeline. And you know, the more folks try and move away from blanks, the more we need to find solutions like this that'll give us some good practical light effects, flash effects, and give the actors something to respond to, so they feel like they're actually getting to do something cool. Because if they've just got a rubber gun, in this case 3D printed double, it doesn't feel the same, you know. It's just not satisfying. You've got nothing to cue off of. You got to constantly resist the temptation to say pew pew. So giving them a gas blowback is a decent option. Now the shell ejecting ones that use just the spring, I don't think that's actually going to trigger them, unless it's enough of a vibration. So we can check that real quick, actually. Take the magazine out, so I'm not worried about losing shell casings, but let's try that out. Yeah, that's not enough, because these are super light. You know, the whole thing with the spring blowback is it's got to be a pretty light spring, and so therefore not a lot of weight in the slide, and I just don't think that's going to be enough motion, nor does it really push through enough of anything to create that bit of breeze. So I think if you want to have that flash effect, you're not going to get the shell ejection that you get from these spring blowbacks. You're going to have to use the good old Airsoft gas blowback. But you know what? Those tend to be better built anyway. Till next time, fun trick. Have fun with that.